We have got to get comfortable with uncertainty if we want to make it through the next couple of months and we want to make it through the next couple of years. I can't tell you how many podcasts I've been on or how many people have asked me, Mark, what do you think things are going to look like in 3 months? What do you think things are going to look like a year from now? What do you think things are going to look like tomorrow? I have no freaking idea. I don't know, and neither do you, and neither do the pundits on TV, and neither do the politicians, and neither does the stock market, and neither do the doctors. Nobody knows what things are going to look like. It's an ever fluid, ever changing dynamic. By the way, it's always been that way. It's just that things have happened in such a linear fashion that we can believe ourselves, believe that things are going to happen in a certain way. So I say I'm going to walk into another room and get a glass of water. I've done that enough times that I believe that that's going to happen. Byron Katie, wonderful author, Loving What Is, she jokes that when someone says, are you going to go into the other room? And she says, I don't know. Let's find out. Because the truth is we don't know what's going to happen in the next second. 1 minute I was walking around, the next minute I was in the hospital dying for 9 days, right? People in car accidents, people have had those things happen, and they know that the uncertainty of life is there. And we don't listen to that. We think because we put money in the stock market and the stock market went up for 10 years, that is our security, that we put money in the bank, we're going to be secure. So we think our bank account, our job title, our physical beauty, our limitations, all those things are guardrails that we can hold on to. And then something like this happens, and it throws us into the same thing as what I talk about as in a midlife crisis, is things are different, right? We lost something that we thought was going to be there. And now what do we do with the blank page? What do we do with this different future? It's really important to play the inner game. It's really important to cultivate the inner game at this point, because the only way to feel safe in uncertainty is to know that you are not your outside circumstances, to know that your safety isn't predicated on the bank account. Your safety isn't predicated on anything that's outside. Now, I'm asking for a tall order. This is something that people have been dealing with for thousands of years, but this is a good time to think about it, right? To pay attention. What are my values? What is really, really, really important to me, right? My children, my relationships, maybe my physical health. So how I'm taking care of myself, maybe some hobbies, maybe a vocation, maybe a passion or something like that. And you really, really, really got to kind of bring it down to 1, 2, or 5 things at the most that are really important to you, right? It might be better to have even less, but let's not go there now. What's important to you? Look at those things. And now I also ask you to cultivate that inner game, to find that faith, whether it's in a God, whether it's in a belief system, whether it's a religion, whether it's a practice. Find that faith in something that doesn't have to do with cars driving on the highway, the internet actually working, our political figures actually doing the right thing, right? Our spouses being a certain way. All those things are constantly changing. The only thing, now let's see, if we go to the Serenity Prayer that's in AA, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, the wisdom to know the difference. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, which is other people, places, and things. God grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, which is my perspective, my attitude, the way I act in the world, which is the only thing I have influence over, right? God grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change, which is others, the courage to change the things I can, which is me, and the wisdom to know the difference between those things and me. That's so brilliant, right? So cultivating this inner game and this faith and this understanding. If you're driving, you can't do this, but if you're not driving, if you close your eyes and the outside world goes away and all you have is your hearing and your feeling, you're now living in a different world, right? Are you any less you, right? Think about chopping off your arm. Is there any less of you? Did you live in your arm, or was your arm just a part of something bigger? Really, to spend time in understanding that and you can use whatever language you want, your soul, your life force, your I amness, whatever discipline, right? Your relationship with God, that that piece is the eternal. My kids joke, my son Jake jokes all the time when he asks me a question. He says, I know who you are has never been born, and who you are can never die. That's the world I live in. I know that that is true, right? So I don't feel as much fear. I do get into it. Of course, I'm human, but who I am has never been born, and who I am can never die. That's a game changer for me, because I understand that this game of being a human is just part of my existence. Right now, which is all we have, right now, I'm Mark. Right now, I'm living in this world that I see, and I'm interacting as Mark. But I do know that I'm more than that. I do know I'm part of the Godhead. I do know I'm part of the oneness, whatever we want to call it, right? Um, so cultivating this now will help you deal with the news, with the uncertainty, with the challenges that feel very, very real, the financial challenges, the health challenges. Your old person is in a nursing home right now. It is terrifying when you find out that there's positive um, cases of coronavirus in those places. But you got to find a place of safety. You got to find a place of safety for you, and find a place of safety for them. So that's my imploring today. Go inside. Uh, my leadership resiliency. We're calling it leadership resiliency. It's personal resiliency. It's midlife resiliency. It's spiritual resiliency. My resiliency course is free on my website. It's free. It's free. You can do all the modules. You can do one. You can It's a great practice to go internal, whether you use mine or somebody else. But I really go to it. Put your email in. Get a free distraction from the noise out there to go inside. Um, so if you like the podcast, please share them. I really, my goal, my value system is to make an impact on everybody else in the world. And I want to grow this. So please share it and comment if you like. And I appreciate it. Thank you for listening to me. I love you. Have a great rest of the day.